Hello, hello, my friends, and welcome to tonight's episode of The Astral Calling here on twitch.tv/tabletop rolls. Woo! We hope everyone's doing really, really well tonight. We got a lot of fun stuff going on, but before we do, a few announcements. Number one, we are down a Rosalie this evening, as we are down a Maya this evening, so it will just be Evie, Vim, and Darius tonight. But Rose's partner Billy wrote a musical.
Yeah.
Yee.
Coming.
You can say husband.
Husband. Yeah, I guess I can now. Rose's husband Billy wrote a musical. I'm so used to just going partner on everything for everyone, like even like for Emily now.
They both have leveled up.
Yeah. It's what? It's $3,000 out of its $8,000 right now.
It is currently, as of refreshing just a couple of seconds ago, it is
Canadian.
48% of it. Yeah, it's just a little under $4,000.
Canadian dollar, not American dollar.
It's been hovering at like 48% just for like a day, and it's bothering the crap out of me. I just want the even 50. I'm like, I'm this close to like, I'll do it myself.
That's how they get you. But if you can support that, please go and support that. Speaking of things that we'd like people to support, I have not okayed this with the rest of everyone, but I'm going to go forward with it anyway. There is a game designer who is really big in the Pathfinder space. He is considered to be one of the basically like fathers of like modern Pathfinder, named Owen Casey. Stephen Steffens. It's been so long since I've hung out with them. But they are a person who has offered me a lot of advice in the past when it comes to game design. And unfortunately, they are in America, where their healthcare system is fucked up. So if you all can, if you want to support that, they have a GoFundMe up for a cancer treatment that they're looking to get. That is there in the chat as well. Owen is literally one of the people that is responsible for some of my favorite things in the tabletop RPG space. And if you can, go and help him out some. On a less sad note, we have other shows on the channel. Tomorrow night, join us for a very special episode of the Tabletop Bros, where we're going to be coming off of a one-shot that Matt's running tomorrow afternoon for us for fun. And so we'll probably talk about that a little bit. Chad will probably update the video game league, and I'll still be in last place. And we're all in that, so it's like might as well talk about it on stream after. We can have like a fun little like talk down about it. I'm
Matt, I can't believe you killed us all.
But yeah, so that'll be like a fun thing to talk about tomorrow during the Tabletop Bros Baldur's Gate 3 stream. Then on Sunday we have Cozy Co-op. We're finishing off Sunhaven this week. It'll be done. I mean, I still have like a bunch of achievements to get in the game, but I can put myself through that hell on my own time.
You can. You absolutely can.
And I will.
You don't have to, but
I must.
That sounds like a compulsion.
It is.
And I cannot stress enough that that's not healthy.
It is not.
We do this because we are compelled.
But do you know what is healthy? Spending time with your friends and excitement because there's a Stardew Valley update coming with a whole bunch of new content. So we're going to be starting up Stardew Sundays again. As just Stardew Valley, and the Sarah, Emily, Will farm will return. Will Emily destroy all of our farm infrastructure with bombs accidentally? Join us and find out.
That's my thing.
Speaking of Matt's things, on Monday night we have the Strength of Thousands AP.
Matt's things.
Well, you run it.
I do.
It is your baby.
And I have created enough of my content into the thing, just injected it.
Yes, and if
giant
you
needle.
listen, if you like everyone else likes Matt's custom content for this AP, oh boy, we got some faffing about for you this week.
You're so convinced this slumber party's gonna happen.
Well,
If it
I
doesn't,
mean,
I think
Snow
McKenna, Sarah,
Snow said
and
that it
Zoe might
would.
cry.
I know, but sometimes people get kidnapped to another planet.
Squishy. Yes, Squishy. Squishy loves Mercedes because Squishy has what? Good taste.
As a character, as a person, Mercedes is a good character. As Igora, no.
Will, you have admitted to me that she bothers you IRL. You can't play. You can't play.
Speaking of things that I can't play, Remnant 2 with the developer on Tuesday.
Now that was a segue.
Yeah.
Good one. If you want to see me struggle through a Souls-like game with guns, now in a Bloodborne-esque world with Datafang, that's the stream for you.
Someone said Bloodborne.
I mean,
Neuron activation.
speaking of activation, on Wednesday we're going to be activating the next section of the plot for Wild Ambition. Our party has made it to Corvangeline. Honey Madeline had a conversation with herself for like 30 minutes on stream.
That long. It might have been that long.
I mean, kind of was.
Yeah, it was. And yeah, it's going to be a good time. We're continuing on with the plot, and some interesting stuff should be happening. Thursdays we're off, but if you're in Winnipeg, Manitoba and want to try PFS at Amusing Games, go sign up for the next scenario that I'm running. We had a full table this week. It was very cool.
I was pretty jelly.
I think I did an okay job.
Nice.
I'm
That
sure you
is
did.
after hours of me gaslighting myself afterwards, but that's beside the point. And then, of course, on Fridays, we have the Astral Calling, the show you're watching right now. A wonderful start to the weekend, if you ask me. And, yeah. Why are you watching the show? Well, you're watching the show because of the fabulous cast that we have. We are down 2 people, but I'm still going to introduce them. Rash, played by Maya. Maya is off doing a play in L.A. They're stabbing people.
As part of the play, to be clear.
And
Maybe.
Rose cannot make it.
You don't
tonight.
know, you're not there.
I don't remember why. I don't think
I
we
also
were ever,
don't remember.
I don't think we were ever told. But
I don't think Rose actually said that she was not going to be able to make it tonight, but Will put the Zoom link in chat and she was like, have fun, you guys. And we were all like,
March 1st.
I don't know. Oh, also a happy birthday to my friend Jessica, who turned 4 yesterday.
Oh.
Leap year baby. Rip.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There was like a 100-year-old who's actually just had their 25th birthday party.
They can finally rent a car.
You can't rent a car before you're 25?
No, not in the States anyway. I don't know how it is in
Not in the States, but not
Canada.
in Canada either. You can
Wait, I've
rent a
never
car
tried.
before you can rent a car before you're 25. There's just a lot of fees attached to it.
Ew.
Yeah. But speaking of fees, someone who refuses to pay them, we have Darius, played by Matt. How are you doing tonight, Darius?
Is that because my character is a cleric? Do I get tax exemptions and I don't pay fees because
Yeah.
I'm a cleric?
You get tax exemptions. You get fantasy.
I have a
tax
permit.
exemptions.
That's a holy text. Yes.
I hope everyone's ready to file their Starfinder T4s,
Oh, God.
which I realize
No.
is only a tax form in Canada, so the Americans don't. Yeah.
I think it's like T something or whatever.
Yeah, I can't remember the American tax forms. I've had to fill them out.
That's
W4s?
I mean,
Yeah.
there's a ton of them. There's W2s,
Yeah.
there's W4s, 1099. I mean, like, there's a bunch, and then there's letters. You know,
Yeah.
there's
We
It's a
do
nonsense-
have our letters.
it's a nonsense system.
Speaking of nonsense, someone who's very fond of it, we have Chad playing Vim.
Fun fact about nonsense and leap day. This year there were, I think, 2 different games that got kind of Y2K'd by leap day. I don't remember. One of them I think was like some kind of sports simulator game, but one of them was the Final Fantasy Theatrhythm game. You couldn't connect to the servers unless you unless you changed the date to it not being February 29th.
Huh. Strange.
Yeah. Let's just somehow set it up in a way that it wouldn't work that.
That's cool. Speaking of people who set things up, we have our resident artist and
That's me.
TikTok extraordinaire,
Something
McKenna,
like that.
playing Evie.
Howdy, that's me. I'm McKenna. McKenna Ray Art on all the places, and I am playing Experiment 3, version 13. Very, very sad little blob of slime.
The definitive version.
The definitive version. That's. There are so many versions of Eevee bopping
Wait.
around.
Evie is version 13 of the experiment.
Yes.
1 second. I'm trying to see all the different versions of Skyrim that have released to see which version of Skyrim
You're
Eevee
Don't
is.
insult Eevee by comparing Eevee to a version of Skyrim.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that is all of our characters and all of our players. I did forget, though, I was going to ask everyone this question, so I'm going to do it quickly. Tonight's question of fun is very topical from Wednesday night. If you had to have a conversation with your character from the last campaign as this character, what do you think what do you think that conversation would be like? Like, what do you think would happen in it? Let's start with Matt, because I like chaos.
Oh dear. It is statistically unlikely that all the problems are caused by devils. Sounds like something a devil would say.
Fight ensues. Chad?
I think only one of the two would be talking.
Ooh.
And I think Zola might just end up being frustrated silence for most of it.
What would Vim say to Zolam that would make him so irritable?
Well, I'm thinking, especially if he knew that Zolam is a god, that's going to be the theme of the conversation of Vim's ascension and explaining and trying to get information, and Zolam's just like not having it. Like, I don't know what this is, what you're talking about. None of this makes any sense. What even are you?
What would be Zolam's reaction to Vim calling himself a god, dream or otherwise?
I mean, skepticism at best.
Just skeptical, disapproving silence.
Fair enough. And lastly, McKenna, Evie Calder.
Oh God. What would they talk about? That'd be the most awkward I don't think either of them are the type to make idle small talk for the sake of it, nor does either particularly have anything that they might bring up to one another. I think the only way they have a conversation is if somehow one of them becomes aware that the other is also gay. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, they can't recognize that on sight? That's
like
not a thing.
perhaps Evie's like, oh, my girlfriend has a sword like that. And Calder goes, girlfriend, now we have a point of commonality. I got two of those. And then Evie is like, well, what is that like? And it's kind of one of those conversations where it's so clinical on Evie's side, but the topic is not clinical at all.
That would be very entertaining to see. Maybe one day we will. But
Don't tempt me. Y'all know I like to jab. I like to yap.
I would love to.
Professional yapper.
I do at some point want to now see that see that conversation between Evie and Calder. Just because I think it'd be hilarious. But I can recognize a good time when we're here for it. What?
I pointed out to Will before stream that he can't pronounce recognize. He just can't for the life of him hear the G in that word. And he just says recognize like a kindergartner.
You did not.
Did not.
Fuck me.
It was like maybe if you were pronouncing the word enough, the G was in there.
But like it's a hard G in recognize because the base of the word is like cognition, like that's the
Yeah,
We're all learning something
I
tonight.
know. Either way, I'm going to roll the intro. And I pushed the wrong button coming out of the intro. Tonight truly is a comedy of errors. It's been a long week, chat. But do not worry. We will get there. Last time on the Astral Calling, Evie's entire universe was shattered.
Yeah. And then it was almost literally shattered when she accidentally set off a black hole. We all do questionable things when we're depressed.
That's true.
Some more questionable than others.
I started working out.
Some more questionable than others.
It's not a black hole, so there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta fill that black hole in your heart somehow.
I mean, that's why I have a bag of chips.
Mm-hmm.
And a poly body pillow.
Don't you talk shit about my.
You leave Polly out of this.
She is a sweet, sweet girl.
Okay, Matthew.
Hey, I played
Let's-
through Monster Road Trip and you got to know her through conversations. She's a delightfully written character.
The problem is when you say things like that, sometimes it sounds like you think the body pillow itself.
No.
That is the implication, Matt.
Yeah. So that's why that's the concern.
Oh, that's going to be the next questionable romance book. The body pillow possessed by the ghost of the character. It'll be like the door one.
I'm pretty sure that already exists
Yeah, I
as
can't-
a
It
Chuck
probably
Tingle
does.
novel.
Then that sounds like a
I'm sure that already
something
exists.
somebody.
Chuck Tingle wrote an erotic short novel about someone who fucks their sentient dice,
Yep.
like the actual D&D polyhedral dice. That man is a visionary.
There is
I haven't read it, but I do appreciate the camp. It's
that's
high camp.
I saw someone today on TikTok reviewing a book called Conquered by Clippy.
The paperclip.
Yeah, the paperclip. It became real, apparently.
Oh, I think I just got put on global warming side.
Humanity was a mistake.
That was a mistake.
Let's give the cats a chance. There's a whole Love, Death, and Robots episode about that.
There is. But we hope everyone's had a good time. Last time on the Astral Calling, Evie had their worldview shattered. A black hole almost consumed part of the universe. And Darius got interrupted while praying.
That's really not worth noting.
It's not.
That's
but
like
still.
an
I
every
also-
session.
I do like the fact that that's what you highlighted about Darius' contribution to that episode, and not him being simple-minded. Darius getting a magical lobotomy beneath notice.
Darius praying is like Phoebe from the Magic School Bus saying, nothing was like this at my old school. Like, it's something that happens every episode.
It's contractually obligated. I don't get paid.
Yes. You don't get paid either way, girl.
Yeah.
We don't make any money.
Yeah, I give you all gifts and stuff when we can.
That's called
very
being
nice of you.
someone's friend.
No.
You're supposed to buy gifts for your friends. I'm fucking with you, Will. I appreciate it.
We do. I am bringing down pins for everyone because
Oh,
we made pins. We have pins now, by the way, chat. If I ever run into you IRL, I carry them with me, so you can take a pin.
fun.
If you play a game with me, it's what I've been using as PFS hero points, as like my markers.
Those pins.
Yeah.
Anyway, I need to get that off the Game of Toba lanyard.
Yeah. But that's what happened last time. We're picking up basically right where we left off. The ship is flying through astral space. Evie.
Evie did want to go back to the space station that Tolatio abandoned, just to see if there was anything else to learn there, because we left in a little bit of a rush.
You can all easily get back there quickly enough. When you arrive, the space station is still there. It hasn't been self-destructed.
Nice. And the black hole still contained.
Yes, black hole is still contained.
Good to know. Good to know. Evie's going to take pretty meticulous notes on how she did that, because it was sort of a snap judgment that worked really, really well, but she wants to make sure she knows 100% certain why it worked that well. Just on the off chance that it was a fluke that she hadn't considered. You know what I mean? Like a variable that she thought it worked this way, but it was a different reason that it worked.
It is strange. For some reason, the central apparatus of it is a coffee pot.
That tracks, actually. You know.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, she's just going to scrub the computers for any more data.
I mean,
and any more data on 14, just to see if there's anything we can do to help.
There is
that
some
funky
14
little
data.
fella.
There is some data on 14. There's data on how their cellular structure was reproduced.
Okay, that's good to know. Maybe I can
Yeah.
get another little tick in that box.
There was some data on basically how they were created. Basically, it was a similar sort of step to how Evie was made, but there was just a lesser emphasis put on to one of the steps that basically was the interjection of the personality matrix.
Right. The only deciding factor on who made it was who followed the instruction to stay put in that room for the longest. But that cellular regeneration, if I can take more notes on it directly from Tolatio, I will.
Yeah. You definitely can.
All right. And just in and around the station, if there's any valuable science equipment that Evie would recognize that McKenna would not.
There's a good amount of valuable science equipment. There's a particularly nice centrifuge that you could probably...
That's the only one I know, and that's what I was about to say. I was like, centrifuge.
Yeah. It's interesting. There appears to be like some sort of like a cooling rack that has a number of test tubes in it that you can see have these like little floating like green and blue orbs in that are gelatinous.
Little babies. Has this ooze IVF?
No idea.
No one tell Alabama.
You can make an Arcana check to try to identify what these are.
Yes, I will do that. Maybe.
So there are 6 vials in total. A red, a blue, a green, a yellow, a purple, and a black.
He hadn't put the purple in there. I'm like, he's creating his own ooze Power Rangers.
And Evie, these look to be sort of augments that can affect a creature of your type. It looks like you could only support probably one of these at a time in yourself, but depending on the one that you put in, you could gain resistance to a type of damage.
Oh, fun. Okay.
It's a daily preparation.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So at the start of the day, if you want to put one of these in your body, you can gain resistance to cold, fire, acid, negative or void,
Necrotic?
necrotic.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, cold, fire, acid, necrotic, radiant,
Yeah.
and sonic.
Is Sonic a thing in 5e?
It is in my version.
I was saying, not usually.
Not usually. But
Okay,
it
good.
is.
Usually it would be, probably would be considered force.
Yeah, but Sonic specifically because there is some Sonic creatures that will exist in the near future.
Good to know. Resistance is cracked in 5e, so that's a powerful boon for little Miss Ooze.
One day we will fight a sentient E-Sharp.
I was like, E-Shark? Like an electronic shark?
It's just gonna be that
E-Shark.
Doctor Strange fight.
Yeah, Matt, that joke unfortunately fell a little bit flat on the audience.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it'll hit its crescendo soon.
I'm about to let
I think that's
black
it.
hole loose.
We're really enduring the sound of silence now.
Yep.
Anyway,
Enough of that.
on another note, any other note, fuck, that's also a goddamn musical clown.
No, we just need Chad to make one by accident and we'll have the full set.
No, Chad's better than this.
Oh,
Are there any notes from Toletio, like any sort of journal or anything in that?
I mean, there's a sort of like research journal, them going into like how they were structuring this. It appears as though it's not actually like using any sort of antimatter. It's making use of their theories on dimensional travel and multiversal connections, and it's basically what he's doing with these bombs is he's creating a sort of pin prick between this universe and another version of the universe where the entire universe has been swallowed by a black hole.
Okay. Why doesn't he just go and repopulate one of those? Nothing about his plan makes any sense.
Sure, it makes sense from his perspective. I'm not there. I can't say anything.
You can be here.
Oh, hello.
Unless you don't want to be there. Evie pulled the ship back up to the space station. Anyone is welcome to join her and poke around.
I very specifically want to make sure that Evie is not alone right now.
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you.
Also, anything that we see going through the lab, I will say keep or not keep, because otherwise I'm going to turn into scrap that I can use to make useful stuff.
I think most of it, Evie says, keep, but probably mostly for Darius's purposes, unless there are, real laboratory equipment that she can use.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to...
Evie, make me just an Arcana check.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can get one cool.
Also 15. 15's not bad.
Yeah, I'll give you a 15. Evie, you do come across a small sort of portable generator. It is a portable hadron collider that produces energy by knocking atoms into each other.
Evie says, I know exactly what this is, and picks it up and takes it back to the ship.
So, if I'm getting this straight, this guy did a major fuck up by connecting to other universes, and then his solution is to keep fucking doing it?
Yeah.
That's in character. That is Vim saying this.
Evie, she's growing, poor thing, says, well, I think the first time would have been an accident. Dimensional travel it's not like anyone could have predicted. But I still fail to understand
The keep doing it part.
the keep doing it part.
Yeah.
I once observed a smith in my home monastery who kept noticing a fault in some metal he was working. And rather than taking it back to the forge to be reforged, melted down, and recast, he kept insisting that he could simply hammer it out. And he spent hours at this, refusing, in what I eventually realized was in pride in his usual work, that any mistake, any problem, he himself could, of course, fix. He could not.
What did he end up doing with the sword?
He ended up having to reforge it. He had to smelt the metal back down and start all over again. And he lamented the time that he had wasted, that he could have spent starting from the process again. It took him twice as long as it should have, because he refused to acknowledge a mistake that he believed he could fix.
Well, at least he fixed it in the end, sort of.
Yes. But
There's
the point I was attempting to make is that if one's mind is poisoned by pride and by arrogance and the belief that you can handle any problem and that there is nothing you can achieve, which are admirable, beliefs to have, sometimes one must face reality in that we are flawed creatures. We are but mortal. We make mistakes. And being able to recognize that is an important part of wisdom.
I think he understands that he is flawed. I just don't think that he is correctly assessing what the flaws are.
That's also part of it. Know
I mean,
thyself, so to speak.
excommunicating a part of your own person the way he did with the aspect of himself that feels fear. It's hard to say how many times he could have done that.
It's a pretty simplistic view of things, because I get the quick idea of like fear makes you do dumb things. Fear also makes you run when you need to run, or
I
fight when you need to fight. Like fear keeps you alive too, and we already know his judgment on some of his experiments is off. So the idea that his judgment wouldn't also be off on just his work and the methods he wants to go about to fix things.
Right. Right.
But he also doesn't seem to be the type that you can tell anything.
Ooh, is this tungsten?
No. Probably, yes. No, I think if he assumes that he is smarter than the person he is talking to, then no, he would have no reason to listen to them. I am curious to know how many pieces of himself he may have chipped off in that way, but I suppose there's no real way of knowing because I cannot find a record of it. But I think we've found everything that we need to here. I have notes, I think I have everything.
I guess we should go. Actually, I mean, there's people to warn and everything, and we have to, I don't know, figure something out about getting them out of our heads.
Yes, I don't suppose there's any notes about that in and around here, are there, Will?
No.
I did have an idea.
What is your idea?
I will tell you, the players, later.
Can you just message us? Because you said
Yes, I
that
can.
last week and then you didn't.
Matthew, for
Yes.
the sake of content, I'm going to take my headphones off.
I feel like this is a scheme so you can hear it.
I promise I will not rewatch this VOD.
Or you promise you will not have M watch it and get her.
M is so far behind by the time she catches up to this point in Astral Calling.
She's watching right now.
Oh. Well,
She gave us a bunch of hero
I
points.
promise
Yeah.
I will have M not tell me.
No, we
Okay.
can't trust.
I trust Em.
Yeah. So
All right.
I am going to
Em's one of the girls. You
I'm
me?
going to take my headphones off.
Yes.
Met her once.
And y'all just like wave your arms crazy when I can put them back on. I'm going to go get some water.
All right, Matthew.
Things I do for my friends.
You're getting water.
Okay, so obviously, because the doctor had to verbally issue commands, the trigger is audible. So we could just craft sound blocking, like headphones for you guys, or just full-on helmets, and work out a system beforehand where we don't need to rely on communicating with each other, or, because this is darn space, internal microphones. Though that could potentially be hacked.
I don't think he had to say anything for what happened to you.
To me?
Yeah.
Well, no, he did a spell. I have a different plan for the contingency plans. Actually, I could tell you now that Will is. I don't know if he can hear me now.
He can't. His headphones are off. You can.
Basically, we essentially just need to trigger the contingency things not on ourselves. We need to have like something summoned or automatic, like a little robot or something, like something that isn't an effect that will go instantly to us or something. Because he only has potentially a couple contingencies. So
I can summon creatures.
we just need to get those burned off first. So we can't strike him directly the first thing we do. We need to have them go off, or just hit him with an anti-magic field of some kind.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if this is something you two can do now or can do in the future, but maybe look into anything that could just dispel.
Potentially, yes.
I don't think I can do that.
That potentially does leave it potentially to chance, because it might be too hard to dispel. Or we just find out where he is and drop an asteroid on him. You know,
I mean, it's a good.
Nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
I think it's a good tool to have in the belt.
But we need to have contingencies for the contingencies.
Right.
Do we want to summon Will back?
And I have to wonder what would happen if he used a form of communication besides speech. And I have to wonder if he doesn't have means of hacking technology like headsets.
Well, in that case, we could just make it incredibly good earplugs. And he seemed to need to speak to make the commands happen. I
did give that to Luna, or I gestured to her to put her earplugs in when he was speaking, and
he didn't try it with her after that, I don't think.
I think he did.
Oh, maybe he did.
But I think he did, but I also think she just succeeded on her save, but in character we don't really have a means of
Yeah.
So from Eve's perspective, that does help, and out of character, I also know that it granted her advantage on that save.
Gotcha.
Plus, if we level up enough, I can get like certain spells that'll give us all like big buffs to like resisting things, like Circle of Power or something.
I like buffs. And
I do know
lie.
Clerics will get Circle of Power, but that may not be for another like 3 levels.
Right.
I don't trust that Will can't hear us.
He raised his eyebrows at that.
He did.
Suspicious.
Will. Pronounce the word recognize. Okay, never mind. I don't think he did. Well, maybe, I don't know. I can't tell. I can't tell.
He is an actor.
Signal for him to come back.
Can't help smiling. He's smiling. He's even got the little anime smile where it's slightly pointed in the front. I'm gonna summon him back to the chat now.
Don't. It's funny. Let him keep making faces.
I'm not sure what content this is.
Yeah, signal him back. Signal him back.
I even muted the headset so I wouldn't be able to hear you.
Oh, okay.
That's why
We don't believe you. We think you were listening.
The funny thing is, because some of the last bit of conversation was, can he really hear? And the fact that was the first thing he said, that makes me more suspicious.
Yeah, no, I think he was listening.
We'll know when we try to do things. And
He's not even trying to deny it.
All right, I'll come up.
My ass off. No, I honestly.
I'll come up with a
I
second
was not
plan.
listening. I did I literally had to turn.
Well, here's the thing, Will.
You see the
If you
switch
had been listening and you were hiding the fact that you were listening, you're not going to admit it now. So.
It'll
Also-
be metagamer.
Yeah.
Also,
I don't.
I don't think we can accuse the GM of being a meta. No,
I can.
on top of what other plans we have, if we have to deal with them again without it, we should look into ways to just get them out of our heads.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd recommend putting lead boxes over top of all of your heads.
I was going to do that with the
That
black
wouldn't
hole
work.
bombs.
Oh.
Yes. I mean, we do have tungsten here, so maybe
Well,
tungsten.
tungsten is different from lead. Tungsten has different properties. The big thing about tungsten is that it's a very high melting point.
Yes.
Also,
Not that I learned that from anime.
putting lead around your head wouldn't work because you'd either have to be beheaded or it would be It wouldn't be closed, and therefore it wouldn't do anything.
Oh, I have another thought, but I will.
Will, headphones.
No.
No.
What was the thought? What was the thought? Say the thought. Say it. No.
I'm just. This is a short thought. I'm just going to send it to the chat.
Okay.
No, just say it. His headphones are already off.
We could just, if we're worried about verbal commands, we could just go in there with a boombox and just blare incredibly loud music. You can't hear anyone.
You can still,
That's true.
Well, maybe. No.
See, I think he can hear us.
The problem.
Why
no,
isn't Batman dance anymore?
Yeah.
Okay. That is why Mill is the worst card or worst deck type.
And that is why Darius is going to be murdered.
It'll be worth
That
it.
sounds like punitive, retaliatory DM versus the players guy.
I mean, why would you want to play a deck type that promotes playing less of the game?
Because you get to see more cards.
No, you don't. You
You're
literally
You see them go into the graveyard.
Yeah, and you don't get to experience them. That's like saying, "Here, have all these ice cream flavors," as I throw them out the window.
You still get to see them.
Do you like to see ice cream or do you like to taste it?
Yeah.
This is a
Seeing a card is not the point of the card. Playing it is. Interacting with it.
If I'm with
This is a
Emily,
strategy.
seeing the ice cream is enough.
This is a strategy that sounds more fun if you're playing against a computer opponent.
Well,
Because then you're playing the system. But I can understand feeling bad doing it to a person.
Mill turns it into a 1.5 player
Listen,
game.
I do not play my Mill deck against Matthew because I know how much they hate Mill.
See, I appreciate that, but it's still the principle of the matter. No
It
one
is
should
the
play
principle.
Mill.
I don't even play MTG, and I agree with Matt on this.
Oh,
Charisma score is high.
I've even made it work in Lorcana, so it's like,
That's not.
You brought
a
the
bragging
evil to
point.
Disney.
Yeah,
You brought the evil
No,
to Disney.
Disney has
brought
the evil
to
within
Disney.
it, all on its own. That's something that is built into the mouse. Like, come on.
No, I'm not calling the 99 Dalmatian deck. I'm building the Puppy Mill deck, Emily. That's
No, that would
even
be
dark.
super
I mean-
That's even too dark for me.
Yikes.
Is she wrong?
But I hope that was chat. I hope that was entertaining. I have no idea what they were saying. For all I know, they could have just been talking about how awful of a GM I am for the last 5 minutes. They're like, yeah, this is all the things that Will does that are terrible, and now you'll be able to keep an eye out for it.
I mean, in a way,
Yes, that's exactly what we
a
said.
matter of perspective, maybe.
That's fine. Like I said, it'll always be my fault when I'm alone in the end.
We're all alone in the end, Will.
Yeah.
It's giving Igra.
It's the Shadow the Hedgehog vibes.
Gamer
That too.
Sonic.
They're kind of one and the same.
Yeah. But it's still kind of all up to y'all what we're doing here, because
Right.
until certain things happen,
Shopping
we
episode.
could do
I don't know how much money we have.
I think we need to seek out the other. I think how many did you say there were, Will?
There is 1, 2, 3. There are currently 3 left that are undetonated.
That's what I thought. Well, then we
There's
have 3 different
Gilded,
locations.
1 on Gilded Garden, 1 in the Marred Poppy, specifically on Helio's station, and 1 on a floating pirate ship city.
I am tempted to take care of Helio first, just because we have a connection there.
Should we take care of Gilded Garden first because it's the closest to the already crazy shit, and we're already here, like in the area?
Oh, I guess if we're already here, it's just that I should be saying this in character. We don't know anyone in Gilded Garden, whereas we do know Helio, and we also know that dragon pirate that Evie would remember the name of that I don't right now.
Corley.
Yeah, Valduke Corley.
Not Valduke.
Oh, the other guy.
Brother.
The other guy, his brother, who I think maybe runs things a little bit more.
He doesn't run things a bit more. He kind of is trying to get out of the family business.
Yeah. Regardless, we have a man on the inside.
Yeah, we kind of helped break his like kind of curse
Right.
thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So he owes us, kind of.
Traumatized Corley.
Maybe we can even apologize to Coralie while we're there.
I mean, hopefully he's already apologized since it was his fault.
Maybe extending an olive branch, regardless of whose fault you perceive it to be, would be the mature thing to do.
I don't like the way he said I perceive it to be, as if that's not true.
I feel like we're gonna be
An olive branch is an olive branch, Vim. Let's just bury that hatchet.
I never did anything to her, or even really said anything threatening to her.
Oh, Evie, it would not be a hatchet for Vim. It would be a crossbow.
That's a fair point, Luna. Thank you.
I mean, I've also got these knives and this double-bladed
Maybe
weapon.
you just tell her that you meant her no harm, you didn't want to scare her, and you're hoping you can move on.
Well, I studied the Bible, the holy text. Vim studied the blade. Speaking of metal, though, Will, do I find any useful bits and bobs around the office that aren't actual, like, proper machines? Like, is there, some nuts and bolts that are literally nuts and bolts that I can use as raw materials? Will, can't hear you. Try again.
Make me a perception check.
Oh, there we go. Guess you cut out for like a second.
Oh, I thought you were just suddenly bullying Will. I was like, what's going on?
What's that? Speak up, little man.
What's that? Speak up.
McKenna's infected them all.
I can't hear you down there.
Matt, I'm taller than you.
Are you really?
I'm just a little guy. No, I don't actually.
Matt, how tall are you?
I don't actually.
Matt, the last time we were beside each other, I am taller than you, Matt.
I was wearing my reverse heels.
I'll take.
It digs my feet into the ground.
Yeah, they put me into the ground. They're heavy.
We'll take pictures next time.
Okay.
You always I'm gonna see how tall you are in April. I think in my head I've just pictured you as like a solid 5'10", 5'11".
Well, it took me a long time to know that apparently Abby is,
travel sized.
Keebler elf.
I'm
told
not
me that
She's not even here to defend herself, but you're full
I don't think she would.
And since
No.
when I left LA from the time
just
after
called out.
college, it had been so long
Ooh,
that I had not seen
bad.
Abby in such a long time that I forgot how small she was.
Yeah. it always catches me off guard.
Yeah.
And most of the time she's in like 6-inch platform heels and she's still like here on me. Yeah. It's kind of charming.
I imagine...
She will wear those heels. She wore those heels to the Renaissance Fair, a dirt lot that is all walking. And I was like, "Are you dying?" And she was like, "No."
I imagine Chad to be like 5'11", maybe 6 feet.
I'm 5'10", 5'11", somewhere in there. Like,
there you go.
Yeah, like right at.
How tall are all the boys
height?
in this chat? Be honest.
That sounds like the last time I measured myself.
I mean,
5'10".
let me.
I don't know. I haven't measured myself in a hot.
I don't think I've changed since I got my license. Let me double check what my license is. My license says 5'10".
How tall is McKenna?
I'm 5'7".
Yeah.
And you are roughly my height.
I'm 5'8". This is what happens when we don't have a Rose. we get so distracted.
It's just me, my slime, my ADHD, just feeling things left and right.
It's all good. This is why I should really be editing these, but.
But then you'd hear us talking shit about you into dreadlocks.
Yeah, so I can't do it. Listen, the things I imagine you say about me are probably much worse than what was actually said.
I shouldn't even be joking about talking shit about you because I know that that's what your brain does, and I'm sorry. I shouldn't have even joked about it.
This is what happens when we're all like, "Oh yeah, the whole party's not here. We can be a little less focused.
We can be
start talking about people's height.
Have a good time." Listen, in heels, I'm a solid 5'11".
I wore heels once, never again.
Oh God.
I think people should know that Will considers heels to be any soled shoe that is not like a flip flop.
No, I had to wear like red high heels.
Oh, that's hot. Will wore dress shoes and was like, "I wore my heels tonight," and I was like, "What do you mean? That's not a heel. That's just a sole. That's just a sole."
No, because like okay.
Anyway. I get what he's saying because it can be separated out. I know it's not actually a heel, but I understand where you would get that from because it's separated out, so it's not like flat all the way up.
Oh, I also just came to the realization that when I come back down next time in April, I do have to do what I promised. Heels? I do have to do what I promised with Maya and Rose, where we had talked about next time I was coming down that they would do like the full like glam makeup on me at some point.
Oh, fun!
Because we just to see it.
Okay, that you have to involve me in.
Yeah, I think it was like right after Dimension 20 did their
Dungeons and Drag Queens, and you saw Brennan Lee Mulligan with the makeup.
And we were talking about one day, and I was like, "Oh, we could do that to you." I was like, "You know what? Next time I'm down in LA, let's do it." And we totally forgot when I was down for Rose's wedding.
Aww.
Just thinking.
We'll get it done. We'll get it done.
Yeah.
Just thinking about how my bad leg wants to self-destruct on normal days with normal shoes. The idea of I know that they have to exist because I have to imagine there are plenty of drag queens with my foot size, but also it's hard enough for me to find I find shoes in my size without being like a freakishly large size or anything.
I think you are underestimating how large the shoe size of the average drag queen is.
No, I'm saying I know that they have to exist because I know they're a drag queen. There has to be drag queens that have the same size shoes as me. But what I'm saying is where I go and get shoes, it's hard enough finding regular shoes anyway.
Yeah, and I'm over here like, oh yeah, I saw a size 15 9-inch stiletto at the Goodwill last week.
Yeah, like one part of that is probably area. They're probably not those in the Goodwill in my area, but also it's one of those things where you would have to know where to look, and then it would be easier.
There might be moonshine in your Goodwill.
some meth
In
out of it,
Chad's?
probably.
Yeah, because like Chad's always
It's
talking
probably-
about he lives out in the middle of nowhere, so I'm like imagining like one of those like triple X bottles.
It's not like rural. I live close to Banjo Land, but I don't live in Banjo Land.
Not quite Appalachia.
Yeah, I mean, like I can drive to some places that aren't mountains, but you still feel the banjo. But I don't live there.
Well, speaking
But
of,
and also, why would you drive?
Yeah, I used to have to delivering pizzas, but
You hated that job.
I did. I mean, yeah, the thing, yeah, you know, it's just places where you live. You know, you can find large heels, and I can really easily find like meth. Um, it's just the
I
location.
can also pretty easily find meth. So if that's your
probably
metric,
true.
I actually think that I could find meth easier.
Small correction: it wouldn't be metric in that case. It would be
I can-
meth trick.
I can like, it's like just
Fentanyl
it's
crack. I just have to
just
go
a little-
upstairs.
Yeah, the fair.
On that note, Darius, you're 9 in perception. You don't find anything too
Sorry,
crazy
Matt.
metal wise,
Oh.
but you do find a cube, a small metal cube.
I really hope he's just like playing this up to almost seem like it's something crazy and it's just a paperweight.
Can I do an insight on the cube?
Yeah, make me an insight check on the cube.
I would like to ponder the cube.
Ponder the cube with an insight check.
Hold on. I will ponder the rectagonal prism from the Manitoba Writers Guild. It's actually got writer's block on one side. 21, much better.
It is
For a
an
sec-
inanimate object.
For a second, it looked like a stick of butter, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Matt's not an American.
That's not the sound I want to hear when somebody says they have a stick of butter.
Oh, sir. No,
Just, you know, enjoying a stick of butter like a popsicle.
Paladine in the house.
I was thinking of Charles from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But let me ask you this, though, Will.
Yes, Matt.
I'm going to do 20 questions with the cube.
Sure.
Is it, like, smooth?
Yes.
Okay. Is it kind of reflective? Is it mirrored? Is it dull?
It is a little bit like a chrome cube. Like you can see a reflection in it.
But not like mirror shine.
Not like mirror shine. It's like almost like a fun house, sort of like it warps the.
Is it about as heavy as you'd think it would be, just a cube that size? Like,
yeah, it's like.
Are we talking like how many sugar cubes put together? Are we talking about?
It's like a toga. It's like this toga pea size.
Okay, so like a novelty giant D20 almost, but
yeah,
a
it's
cube.
like it's just like a nice metal cube.
But just
But
like
a D6.
a D6 cube.
I very much appreciate that it's the two Canadians doing this because it's making me think of the meme where that was going around recently where I don't even remember what they were measuring.
It's like half a
But-
bag of milk.
But there were two people just like saying all kinds of random things, and somebody says like Americans will do anything to not use the metric system. So I appreciate that it was you two doing that.
If I bring it close to my armor, does it seem magnetic in any kind?
No.
Or any way? If I tap it, does it seem hollow or is it solid?
Solid.
So it is just a cube of solid, somewhat shiny, somewhat chromy metal.
Yeah. No, it's not chromy metal because it doesn't time travel. It's like a chrome.
Oh, goddamn. Well, no one's gonna get that joke.
I know.
World of Warcraft.
Yes, there's a. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm gonna resist the urge to nerd explain things.
You're a strong man.
I'm trying so hard every day. I didn't play Elden Ring at all today.
The Pisces energy from you right now, Matthew, is so substantial.
I don't deserve to be called out like
The
this.
second McKenna says anything about astrology, I immediately look at Chad.
Remember, for every Pisces, inside of you there are two fish. God, what I was gonna say now. How sharp are the corners? Like, is this like a severe cut, or is it kind of smoothed on the corners?
The corners have been dulled so they don't like.
Okay,
cut
so
your hand
I
open.
couldn't like scratch a message into the wall with it.
No, you couldn't do that.
And it's featureless. There are no symbols or anything. It's
No
not
symbols,
not a dice.
just like a nice metal cube.
All right, last thing. I'm gonna try rolling it on the desk. See what happens.
As you roll on the desk and like it leaves your hand, a cube appears in your hand, and the one that's on the desk is still there.
Can't get rid
Oh
get
no!
rid of the cube.
Physics is weeping. What if I just I hold the cube out like this in my hand,
Okay,
and then I just turn it over and drop it to the floor?
the cube is in your hand still.
But is it just continually falling and replacing
Yeah,
itself?
there's like cube falls. It's like every couple seconds a new cube is hitting the floor.
Guys, I'm gonna be here for a few hours. That way, I can produce a whole bunch of raw material.
Yeah, it's like it's a doubling cube. It's a magical item. It lets you create a unlimited amount of this basic like metal.
I mean, that's cool. The law of conservation of mass is crying in a corner.
If Evie wants to make an Arcana check, they can figure out how it works.
The implications of this are horrifying.
I have a feeling it's just taking it from somewhere else.
I mean,
Evie, you don't have to
Ooh,
roll
on
the
an 11?
Arcana. You don't have to roll an Arcana check. You figured it out. It's just pulling the cube from another dimension where the cube is in that space.
so technically speaking, it might be finite, but I would have to possibly fill the ship with cubes.
And then some. Technically, if the multiverse theory is infinite, no.
But that's if I'm pulling from multiple dimensions. I could only be pulling from one alternate dimension.
Theoretically, there would be only one Toletio to create one of these squares in every dimension.
So you'd just be
Yes,
pulling
but
one
I
from
wouldn't be
each.
pulling from each one of those unless I am well. So I'm just basing this off of the language Will used. He said a alternate dimension, singular.
Well, yeah, each time you're doing it from an alternate dimension, not you're doing it all from an
So
alternate.
every cube is coming from an alternate dimension. Not all the cubes are coming from an alternate dimension.
Yeah,
Yeah.
grammar lessons
Yes.
with
Ugh.
tabletop roles.
That's not even a lesson. I'm just being pedantic.
Well,
Um,
no, but we were kind of explaining that as we went. So
Yeah.
But I mean, that is interesting and a tool specifically useful for me. Darius just kind of has an arm full of small cubes now. Though he's gonna take like a wax pencil he keeps in his like tool belt, and he's gonna try and mark the original cube because I have so many questions. Does the trick happen every time any of the cubes are dropped, or is it just this one cube that always returns?
It's just that one cube.
Okay, so I'm gonna put a little wax X on it just so I know which one is which.
That's fair.
I'm just gonna start hauling these armfuls of cubes back to the ship.
And now I can do a Trouble with Tribbles episode on at some point.
Oh God, is this the replicators from Stargate? Jesus, that's horrific. We're just gonna be eaten by tiny spiders made of cubes.
Alright, so I grabbed the resistance gels and the portable
The
generator.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
a Hedron Collider generator.
I can't tell if you're making a magic joke, Will.
No.
Okay.
I'm probably pronouncing the thing wrong.
it's Hadron
It's
Collider.
It's Hydra. Yeah, which has that.
It's an A.
Did you just hail Hydra, Will? God damn it. Let me see. I'm gonna put it. God, that's a lot of things in my inventory.
Anywhere on the ship does it say where Toletio what's the word? Absconded.
No.
Any like escape notes? No.
Nope.
Okay.
I kind of yell back as I'm heading to the ship. Have you looked for his personal quarters?
That's a good question because I was looking for his journal earlier, and if that means going into his personal quarters,
There-
then yes.
There's no personal quarters here, but there is like in the corner of the lab what appears to be a bench that has like a pillow and a blanket on it that he used as like a bed.
Typical
He's pretty
scientist.
Spartan.
Yes. Just give Tula to you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, he doesn't really do personal things, personal effects. So I think this is everything. And we should pick a bomb to go disarm.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to remember specific locations. Did we go to any specific locations in Gilded Garden other than these little bases and stuff like that?
Gilded Garden, like, you've been on the main planet of Gilded Garden. It's where the campaign started.
Yeah. So, like, yes, we've been there. No, we don't really have any connections there. But that is where we're closest to now, I believe.
Okay.
At least that's where our characters are dumped on the map. I don't actually know where we are.
That is where you are closest to.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess maybe without a lead and without any connections, then I guess we probably should try and deal with Helios first.
I mean, we do know where it is. We have its exact coordinates on a map. It's just a matter of getting through whoever we need to get through to get to it.
And
maybe we can make those friends along the way.
Yeah, and
who's to say?
Knowing how sensitive they are, it's probably best to do it first with somebody that already trusts us to some degree than somebody who might just hear from us that there is a bomb and that it needs to be handled, and then they go and try to do it because they don't trust us, and then they set it off.
Yes. Okay, then we will go to Helio. Will, do I have good enough notes on my black hole box that I could replicate it easily?
Yes.
Okay.
You got a natural 20 on that roll. I'm giving you that for free.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go.
So, you all get onto the ship and begin to travel. That night, Vim, two doors appear in front of you.
Uh-huh.
There are 2 doors inside of you.
There seem to be.
There are many doors, then, boy.
One door appears to be covered in flowers and floral arrangements.
Uh-huh.
The other door appears to be covered in crystals.
What kind of crystals?
It seems to be like rose quartz, some amethyst. McKenna, name some of the shiny rocks that you like.
No, this is all you.
Okay.
Like that one rock that's supposed to like push people that are not good for your life away from you.
Moldavite?
I mean, that can be any rock if you swing
If you throw it hard enough.
Or stab someone with it. I was going to ask, I don't know the specific definition of crystals. Like, rose quartz is a crystal.
Amethyst and rose quartz are technically the same thing, just different colors.
Because quartz is like a subtype of crystals.
Hold on, I'm grabbing my crystal book.
Why am I doing this?
Thanks, Matt.
I blame my ice sphere.
What do you want to know? What do you name me a crystal?
Moldavite.
That might actually be the one that's not in here. We'll see.
Oh,
I mean, Moldavite, you already basically know what it does.
Yeah.
I just like thought I had that thought. All rose quartz are crystals, but not all crystals are or quartz.
Yeah, Moldavite is actually a relatively new sort of trend. But you could maybe have some lepidolite. You could maybe have some moonstone.
That sounds made up. Oh wow, I've looked up a picture of Moldavites though. Oh, that's very interesting looking.
Mm-hmm.
There's Peridot.
Yeah. They have that very like sci-fi kind of look.
Natural
Malachite.
glass formed by the melting and cooling of silica sand, a rock ejected into the atmosphere after a meteoric impact. Ooh, cool.
Geology.
Ruby, rhodochrosite, selenite, sodalite, sulolite, sunstone, tiger's eye, topaz, tourmaline. Are you good?
None of my birthstones are cool crystals.
I mean, I'm good. The the information that I was digging for there, I gleaned from the fact that when I asked, well, didn't very specifically and directly go for one in particular. So I'm going to go for the flowers door because it's more something you need to be more used to.
Okay. Chad, as you open that door, Darius and Evie, the two of you appear in a large field of flowers. And above you appears to be a giant Vim. Vim, you are currently kaiju-sized. And there is a Evie and Darius on the ground below you.
Is this a dream? Are we actually present, or are we?
Or maybe a vision.
Is this a vision that Vin is having, or are we present?
You are present there in this as well.
Shared dreaming. There are two player characters inside you.
Hello. We're very big.
Yeah, this doesn't happen the same way every time, I'm finding. This is a new perspective.
How does it make you feel? Be honest.
Confused mostly.
Wait, does this mean I get to ride in one of your pockets now?
I don't have pockets.
Oh,
Well, I do have a bag, but I don't know if
we need to
You have
we
a
need to fix.
cloak.
Yeah.
You
need
could
to-
fashion like a sling, a little Mao Bjorn.
I recognize one of those words.
It's only Mao. He doesn't know what any of those other things are.
I mean, Bjorn is a very specific word. I'm also now picturing, like, how would Mao carry their children? Can they walk really early like horses?
Yes.
With
These are
their little
questions.
leggies sticking out in front of them. They have
Yes.
that little like baby Bjorn. And it's just like
Have you guys
4
ever seen?
legs.
Have you ever seen pictures people drawn of like baby centaurs? Like human babies are really helpless. Would that mean the human half of baby centaurs just flop around?
Yeah.
Be kind of horrible.
Yeah.
Be very good at horsing around, though.
Do you have any idea what's going on? Because I don't.
I have the beginnings. I have the idea of the beginnings of what's going on. This started a lot like the other night when everybody had a rough night, but this isn't how things happened that time. When I picked a path, this isn't. I mean, part of me kind of wants to see how flying would be, but also I'm realizing that with you guys down there, that would probably be a really bad time for you.
Worth a try.
I mean, has it ever been suggested to you in previous dream visions concerned that injury or death could occur in dreams and transfer to real life?
Not in words, but I know I've been able to pull things from.
I'm just concerned, like, do we have to be very careful in here? Like, could we die to bizarre dream logic?
Well, I'm certainly not going to step on you to test it out.
No, that would be painful.
The concept of you stepping on things is strange to me for some reason.
With your bug barbs.
That'd be more like stabbing, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Not when I'm this size.
That would be more like impalement. Well, what do you want to
I
do then?
well, I don't know how it works if I'm already in a place like this, but I know I was thinking before about trying to make some contact, but so I'm just gonna kind of settle down here and focus on Gentle Breeze, who was the one who like kind of cocooned herself, petrified herself in stasis. And I don't know if it'll work having already been in this type of place or not.
Vim, make me a wisdom roll. Just a straight wisdom roll.
Oh,
You start to just kind of feel centered. And you come to realize that as you're like thinking about Gentle Breeze, at first a bit of wind it does to begin to pick up, and you realize, if I don't focus on like the actual person fully, I might create like a tornado that will send my friends flying.
right.
You manage to stop that from happening, and appearing in front of you as her regular size in like the flowers, you just see that's like one of the flowers blooms and kind of like
Okay, so she's like normal size, not also kaiju size.
oh, you're very big now, Vim.
I think this is temporary. Otherwise, that could be pretty a big problem.
How long have I been out for? Hundreds of years if you're that big, probably. Are all your
No,
friends dead now?
no, it's been closer to like a week.
Oh.
But you're not awake properly.
Oh, this is dream bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay, you don't have to say it that way. I'm trying to get you to just tell you thank you
Oh, you're welcome?
because it worked. I know you kind of hid yourself away, but
Yeah, I
we
mean, it felt like the right thing to do, and honestly, I kind of need a break from the world. A lot of stuff is going wrong now, and it just kind of feels nice to not have to deal with anything. Just stick my head in the sand and sort of exist.
well, I guess no pressure, but if you would decide to come out of it, yeah, they're not Mother Myrtle's not going to like go after you.
I know.
Uh, okay. And
I
yeah, I
think
didn't
she
have the
put me
chance
in
to
one of her gardens.
thank you before. And I figured since we were here, might as well. I'm still not entirely sure.
I
I
don't
don't have it all under control yet.
I don't really feel like I really did anything that deserves a thank you, but thank you. You're welcome regardless.
Well, you gave us a heads up, helped us get out.
Oh, fair enough.
That kind of got the ball rolling.
They start to sort of like fade away. You can see them like, I'm getting really tired, Vim. And eventually she just disappears.
Oh, well, I guess I'm going to focus again to see if I can control my relative size to try to bring me more in line with the others.
Make me another wisdom check. Evie and Darius, the two of you grow like a foot in stature, and then Vim shrinks down to be about the same size relatively.
We're getting
Fascinating.
somewhere. We're getting somewhere.
We cannot hear you, McKenna.
I said, why am I taller?
It was supposed to be a one-way thing. It kind of became a little bit of a two-way thing.
Hmm.
Uh, but this is at least a little more normal. when I look around, is the door that I came through here still here?
Yes.
Okay, so that's where I came from. I don't know if it's smart to try and go back.
I suppose there's only one way to find out.
Darius, Evie, there is no door for you. Like, you two can't see a door.
There is no door for me.
Yeah, I guess that tracks.
Can I try to wake up?
Yeah, make me a wisdom save.
I'm going to try to make a door. Nope.
You make a door.
Well,
You set that trap for yourself, didn't you?
Open that door.
Evie, what would be like a pleasant dream for Evie to have?
So hard because her mental state right now is
if you don't
so
have one,
bad.
If you don't have one in mind, I can give you one. I can give Evie a pleasant dream.
I think Evie just wants like a normal night where nothing is wrong and nothing is mean to her and nothing is about to explode.
As Evie opens that door, Vim and Darius, on the other side of the door, you can see Evie's quarters that have had a number of candles lit in it. And sitting on like Evie's bunk with like what appears to be a screen in front of them is Luna. And she just kind of waves, "Oh, Evie, Rash made us a cake for movie night. Come."
That sounds delightful. I walked through the door.
Yeah. And the door closes. It will come back to you in a minute.
Uh-oh.
All right, well, I'm going to. Oh, what? You want to do something?
This is a dream. So Darius is going to. It's not called this with the Mal, but he is going to attempt to loaf with his lower body, where he tucks his legs underneath and just sits down. And he's going to try and lucid dream Nito and a table with a 1,000-piece puzzle.
Make me a wisdom check.
Wisdom 25.
Yeah. Nito appears in this dream world, and there's a table now there with a 1,000-piece puzzle.
I just smile and say nothing, and I just start trying to assemble the puzzle. Wait, because we do it one piece at a time together.
Yeah.
'Tis a pleasant fiction.
Does this like kind of field just seem endless other than that door?
Yeah.
Hmm.
There is a tree on a hill in the distance, but it might take you some time to get there.
I am going to hope Darius is okay, and I'm going to concentrate on just being near the tree.
Vim, you appear near that tree.
Okay, that was easy. Is the tree notable in any way? Just gonna like circle around it, trying to.
It's just a tree. Just one tree on a hill.
Huh.
Surrounded by flowers, and like as the wind blows, flower petals blow past Vim.
When I look back, can I see Darius in the distance?
Yep, doing a puzzle.
Okay.
I'm providing a landmark so you can tell relative distances between things.
All right, just making sure it wasn't like, oh yeah, no, now he's gone. I keep having these ideas, but then it's like, well, this place might not be a thing I come to again, so just in case. Yeah, just in case to get an idea of things as we explore this further. Vim's going to pull out one of his daggers and start carefully carving some rudimentary uh pictures into the bark of the group. That way, if I ever do kind of come back to a place like this, he can try and gauge
Do
the.
you do that just on one section of the tree, or do you go around the tree at a couple spots?
Um, he probably would do like one of the pictures and then move a little bit to the side and another one.
All right, so after you finish the first picture and start moving to the side, you bump into yourself. And we're going to jump to Evie now.
Fun.
Evie, it's a lovely date. Luna's there. Luna's there with you. The two of you have like a movie going on. It's like a nice little romance movie. And she's just sitting there. She kind of like is holding your pseudopod. What?
Sounds dirty.
Yeah.
Oh, what, in her hands?
Filthy, filthy hand holding.
Yes, filthy hand holding.
Y'all need the spark.
They have the spark. That's why they're a couple, Matthew.
You know that's not what I meant. Heretic.
If I created the god, am I a heretic?
Yeah, you say heretical things.
Fair enough. But yeah, it's a lovely little date night.
And then what?
It's just nice. Oh,
And then
Evie,
what?
I know. Here, I've always wanted to try this. And Luna picks up a piece of the carrot cake that Ratch made and like tries to feed you a small like bite of it.
Just pushes it into
Yeah.
my face.
Passes through the membrane.
Was that everything you had hoped it would be?
Yes, it was very fun.
Good. I think. Is this real? Are you buffering?
Oh,
Oh,
I think he's frozen.
Luna's just
Ah.
Luna freezes for a second. I mean, it. I don't know. Is anything real?
It's a good question.
Is the waking world awake and the dreaming world a dream, or is the dreaming world the waking world and the waking world the dream? I mean, we're together.
I think
That's
the real
all that
world
matters
is the
to
real
me.
world and the dream world. I mean, I think I could also wake up and also be in the. But you are aware that we are in a dream right now. When you say that, that implies to me that you are aware of where we are, which makes me
mean-
think that maybe you're not actually Luna.
I'm with you.
You are.
That's what matters.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think it matters a great deal whether you are the person that you look like. Is this cheating? Is this dream? We're not even technically. It's not like we've had that conversation. But still.
Would you like another piece of cake?
I would like a straight answer. And I do not think that I am going to get one.
I mean, I am not straight, Luna. Evie.
The other meaning of the word straight, there are multiple meanings. In this case, I mean correct.
I am sorry, I'm not great at intellectual conversation.
I don't know. Real world Luna is pretty good at conversation. I think that this is wrong, and I think I need to wake up.
Evie, you wake up in your bed alone.
Actually?
Yep.
Pinch myself.
Evie, you wake up in your bed alone.
I pinch myself.
You pinch yourself.
Okay. All right. So I'm actually awake this time.
Yeah.
Insight check.
We have to go deeper.
Make me an insight check.
Who's the spinning top?
My insight is exactly 0. So, you know, that's gonna go how that goes. That's 11.
You're probably awake. Maybe like getting like a glass of water might help out.
I get a glass of water.
You get up, you open the door, you leave the room, and as you're leaving, Rash is in the kitchen. Oh, Pudding, I am making a midnight snack for myself. Do you want something?
Are you real?
I am as real as I think I am.
That's... Evie walks away. I'm gonna go into Darius's room. I'm gonna knock on the door first.
You see, you knock on the door. There's no answer.
I knock again.
The
kind of like a...
The ship kind of just opens the door for you.
Rude.
You just see Darius sleeping.
A smile on
Evie?
his face.
Well, depending on whether or not this is a real Darius. Evie sort of hovers in the doorway in that way that children sometimes do when they need to tell their parents that they threw up, but like
Darius, what's your
don't know how to wake them up.
What's your passive perception, Darius?
Oh, is that just like 10 plus my wisdom modifier?
It should be on your character sheet under your skills.
Oh.
It's your
passive wisdom perception is 15.
Yeah, you know what? That'll be
pretty
enough.
good.
Darius, you wake up from your pleasant dream with Nito, and you just see Evie standing in your doorway.
I always knew this day would come.
Are you real?
I mean, that's a loaded question. That has been a topic in some discussion in the monastery for many years, but
Why is nobody giving me a straight answer about whether or not they're real?
as far as I'm aware, I am real, and this is the waking world. As far as I'm aware.
Are you certain?
I don't know. You might just be in the fear hole still. Probably not. A lot of people are going to get that. I think I try to pat comforting Pat, and I sit up properly and try and get an eye level with Evie, and I say,
sort of sits down next to you.
if you are unsure if you are real, or if everything around you is real currently, cautious, I would simply suggest operating from here on as the assumption that you are awake.
How would that differ from if I operated under the assumption that I was not awake? I don't know if I trust my judgment.
Ah, that's what this is about. It's it's okay to get things wrong. It's how we learn. But let me ask you this. Do you trust my judgment, Evie?
That's why I'm here.
Well, then I'm going to ask, and this is going to maybe sound a little funny coming from me, I'm going to ask perhaps for a little act of faith.
That sounds like something you'd say, and not something Vim would dream.
I mean, har har har, I'm praying, wink wink. Darius is a terrible actor.
Evie sort of gives you a look like maybe this is still Vim's dream, because I don't think she has ever heard Darius tell a joke or be sarcastic. So I think she kind of looks at you and goes, "Was that a joke?"
If you want to hear a joke, I can try and maybe get Nito on the communicator. She's much funnier than I am. Among Mao, she is considered most humorous.
I would like that, I think.
I'm also trying to think of if there's any interesting spells I could do. I'm trying to remember things about dreaming. I would, like if you fall backwards, I think you wake up or something. Like, no, that's only if you fall in real life. You'll always wake up if you start falling. Um, well, I'm just gonna say this again, Evie. If you'll be willing to extend a little bit of, take things a little bit on faith, I will say that you are awake currently, because I believe that I'm awake, and I'm going to operate under the assumption that I am and just go about my day. Though, has anyone checked on Vim? Because it seemed like there was actual possibly purpose to his dream, and we were just sort of maybe pulled in with him.
That's sort of the other reason I came here, is because I didn't want to disturb him if he was doing official dream god business.
Speaking of that official dream god business,
I
Vim,
object to the god part.
in front of you is another Vim, who upon seeing you immediately draws both their crossbows and started like points them at
Wait.
you.
Defeat yourself.
He's got 2 crossbows?
Yes, he's got 2.
Oh.
It's like,
Real dream gods only need 1.
oh, we're here.
What is that supposed to mean?
I don't know how much of this I can actually tell you safely. I'm sorry. Evie and Luna need to know that they will find each other on the left path.
Left path. Okay. A little more context to that?
I don't know how much I can give you. I'm sorry, this is very strange. I know I want more information, but I can't give you that information. We get this on, he points to the second crossbow. We get this on the pirate. We get this when we deal with the fucking pirate.
So we do kill that fucking dragon. All right. Are you? This is not a dimension thing. This is a time thing.
Yes.
Okay.
They point to the tree and there's a picture that was the next one you were going to draw. It's already done.
All right. Got it. Okay. So you're concerned about what you can tell me. Is that because it'll fuck it all up?
It has in the past.
You've done the okay. Well, that's fun. Is there anything else that you can give me a half hint at?
If we're here, we're heading to Helios.
Yeah.
Do your... The people protecting the bomb don't know what they have.
Okay, that actually could be useful.
That's about as useful as I think I can be safely. The last time one of us told ourselves something too much, I think we all... I don't know what happened to them. I haven't seen them again.
Wow. Yes, to avoid that risk, we'll just have to wake up. Tries to make it happen.
You just do it. You can wake up.
Yeah.
Where did Vim settle down tonight?
Oh, he's a bit bigger now, so he's probably not settling down just in a hallway. But it's probably fairly often in any type of like storage room where there might be shelves and stuff like that, where he's up off the floor.
Fair.
But
if you're in the storage room, you can see Evie going into Darius's bedroom.
All right. Does the door close?
No.
Which I'm asking this too. Okay.
Unless Evie gets the impression that Darius is a please close your door on the way in type, in which case, yes.
Darius grew up in an environment where, for the most of his life, if someone was in your room, you couldn't close the door.
That sounds...
He lived in dorms.
You can still close your door in a dorm. That's why they call it a dorm.
I know, but then they might start, making strange alloys in there without adult supervision.
That's what we're calling it now.
No, I mean that literally.
So there's like a whoosh from the wings and everything, and then Vim's just in the doorway.
Evie is dialing up Nito on the comms. Still probably next to Darius, doing it like remote control.
Yeah, chip, terminal.
So you guys are up late?
Well, you kind of pulled us into a dream.
Yeah. That wasn't on purpose.
I know.
I believe you.
So, the whole dream god thing is complex, and things happen that may sometimes defy expectations, such as conversations with versions of oneself from different times.
Okay.
So it seems like there's going to be somebody protecting wherever this bomb is. That's in the Ward Poppy system, and they're not gonna be full up on what it is.
I can't imagine anyone would know what it is because I don't think most people are aware of the Castigian order.
They might have some times a fun thing. So all I can say is if it was worth saying. So I'm guessing they might have some assumptions that are wrong, and it might not be. There might be some work in clearing that up to make sure that it can be contained safely.
Yes, I suppose that makes sense. But at least we will have Helio at our back.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Nothing to say. Also, you and Luna, you should share this with Luna. It sounds like at some point you're going to have to find each other, and you gotta take the left path. Don't ask me what it means, but...
Left path.
Left path. Left path to Luna. So
left path, left for Luna.
Yeah,
left
so
for Luna.
So keep that in mind.
Oh, did somebody say Luna? Luna just appears.
Yes, I repeat what Vim just told me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was just having a very fun dream.
Oh, what was your dream?
Me and you were sitting in your quarters with candles and carrot cake, but then you got all strange and left.
I ruined everything! Evie starts crying.
We all learn by doing.
Oh no!
See, it's not so easy, is it?
Oh, but you're a dream god, and I'm just a thing. Someone just made me one day, and now I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
That didn't take the turn that I wanted it to.
I know you're going to think this is personally motivated, concerned, but I feel like perhaps we should tone down the random throwing around of the Dream God title. Because one day someone is actually going to take offense to that, and it might cost us a lot of trouble for no real reason.
But it's I don't like it seems kind of accurate at this point.
Evie is crying next to you, and your focus is like, well, the terminology of that is actually.
I mean, if you never say what you mean, you can never mean what you say.
Here's you telling us how to sneakily lie right
No,
now?
I'm trying to be accurate when you're speaking of things.
I think it is accurate. I haven't been saying this
All right.
in character as a joke.
How many people do you know, Darius, that can control their dreams and bring other people into their dreams?
I mean, not the second part, but the first part is actually very common.
I can't control my dreams, and I definitely can't bring other people into my dreams, and I definitely can't see myself in the past or future in my dreams and tell them things about life. My life might be a lot different if I could have
I
done
mean,
that.
you can do all those things in dreams. Dreams are literally, you can do anything in dreams.
I
Whether or not it's
cannot
relevant to
accomplish
real
that.
life is another matter. But
Yeah, I think the point being that you can't actually be doing that while using dreams as a medium. Uh, um, yeah, unfortunately, there's the whole thing of telling your past self, you can only do so much. So once again, we get back to the thing of I don't know what the rules are, but I would bet that because there was no time travel, there was time communication through the medium of dreams, that time traveler immunity doesn't exist here. So if I really fucked up and died, that version would also be gone. Not safe.
also, Nito appears on the screen. Why do blacksmiths behave badly at the end of the year?
I don't know.
They want Santa to put coal in their stockings.
Who's Santa?
An ancient and terrible figure on the homeworld, Mao Claus, Santa Claus.
I don't understand this tradition, and I don't get the joke.
That's hilarious.
I'm going back to bed. And then it hangs up.
Oh, I've got one though. Why is it hard for a blacksmith to get work done? They always need to be striking.
Oh, I understood that one.
I did not.
I'm probably not telling it right. But
Oh,
we should
no,
let Nito sleep.
Goodbye, Nito.
They're already gone, I'm sure.
Oh my God. Like, what does my husband? Oh my fucking.
So
God.
yeah, everybody should probably get some sleep. I don't know what you guys are up at all hours of the night for.
I was up because I had a dream where I thought everything was fake.
Second, I thought you were
And-
saying I bought everything.
No, I could not tell whether or not I was awake or whether or not this was real, and I felt like Darius would know. I'm really tired.
Oh, here. Let me get you to your bed then. And Luna picks you up.
Let it be known, I was hoping it would just give you my choices would give you a tone for your dream and not do that.
Well, to be fair, Evie did attempt to edit it themselves, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still working out working it all out.
Luna takes you back to your bunk, and like she just kind of puts you there. Would you like to cuddle?
Yes, please.
Luna snuggles in next to you. And yeah, as you all go to bed, we jump to the next morning after a long rest. Evie, you wake up in your bunk alone. Luna, as you're like waking up, there's that moment like, wait, Luna was in here with me. Where'd Luna go? And Luna comes back in with like a glass of carrot juice. I was thirsty. Sorry. And she just sits on the
Understandable.
table
Keep
and
yourself hydrated.
comes back in and snuggles with you.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I thought I might be cheating on you when it was you, but it was a dream. I don't know if I need to apologize for things that happen in dreams. That's sort of a gray area now. I think before meeting Vim, I would have said no because they're not real. And now it feels like there's consequences for the things I might do while I'm asleep.
That seems very complicated to think about, Evie. I trust your judgment. You have very good judgment.
Okay.
Evie looks a little nauseous.
But it is still early, and I would like more snuggles. And Luna continues.
That I am confident I can accomplish.
And as Luna and Evie snuggle, we zoom out from the ship to another planet with whirling sand clouds and a massive desert. And in the middle of this massive desert is this beautiful opulent palace. And standing up from a throne with this like very large book in their hands, almost like turning a page and closing it, is some sort of humanoid figure. And as they step down off of their throne and start walking towards the center, someone walks up and they say, "Oh, heading out?" And this figure looks down at this like little servant and just says, "Yes, someone believes themselves to be a dream god." And that's where we're going to end tonight's session. Thank you all so much for coming to tonight's episode of The Astral Calling. Don't forget to check out many other shows here on the channel. Thank you for enduring the faffing about tonight. And we will see you all next time as our party makes their way to the Marn Poppy system to hopefully deal with the first of Dr. Toletio's inventions.
Yeah.
Toodaloo, everyone.
Have a good night, y'all.